guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad everyone stopped by today. So, I've got some awesome news. Apparently before 2016 ended, we reached over 2,000 subscribers. You guys are freaking awesome. I'm so glad. I can't believe we did this before the year was up, and I can't wait to start this year and do some really cool projects. So to thank everyone for subscribing, I ordered about 7 yards of fabric, and I have a huge project I'm going to do with it. It is going to be Pokemon themed, so if you could guess what's going to take 7 yards of fabric to make, go ahead and try and guess down in the comments below, and we'll see if you can get it right. But yeah, this project is huge. It's going to be a lot of fun. Axel, my big pup, might end up causing a little problems while we're trying to sew it, but that's okay, because we are going to have to do this on the floor. There's no working on the countertops. It's big. But don't worry, I'm not hand sewing this. I actually got a sewing machine for Christmas, so yay! This is not going to take forever, and my fingers are not going to fall off. So anyways, I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be my next video because I'm still waiting for everything in the mail, but I'm going to try and get it out really soon. I just got to get everything in the mail, of course. But anyways, back to this video. For today's project, I'm going to do a Venom dragon. I'm actually going to make this one really kind of creepy and spooky, so it'll be kind of fun. It's a different style. I like doing different styles here and there. I go uber cute or uber like, ew. Anyways, let's get started. To start on the clay face for the creature, I'm going to make a layer of clay and then start building up the clay where I want the mouth of the creature to be. For this dragon, I want to give it a creepy, open mouth kind of look, so I'm going to start pushing in the clay and make a nice void where that's going to be. Then I'm going to fill the mouth with layers of sharp teeth. The larger teeth I made ahead of time and are already baked. After I have the teeth finished, I'm going to add some strips of clay and make some lips around the mouth with them. Now I'm going to add the eyes to the dragon. For these, I'm going to use some glass little circles. I picked out some green ones, and I'm actually going to give this dragon 4 eyes just for some fun. After adding some finishing details, I can then move on to the clay feet of the dragon. To make the clay feet, I need to make a wire frame for them, and to do this, I drew out a rough idea of the size that I want my feet, and I'm going to use this as a guide to cut some wire to make the frame. Once I have the wire the way that I like it, I'm then going to sculpt some claws onto the tips of the toes. The clay pieces I'm going to put in the oven like this. I'm leaving the face on the glass, and then I have damp paper towels set down so that the claws don't melt onto the dish that I'm using. After everything has cooled from baking, I'm then going to start sculpting the pads of the feet. After this has been sculpted, I'm then going to bake it again for another 30 minutes. After cooling from the second time baking, I can then start sculpting the tops of the feet, and when this is finished, I will bake it for probably about 40 more minutes. Now it's time for the painting. I've decided that I want the body of my piece to be brown, so for the painting I'm going to paint the edges of the clay pieces brown, and then I'm going to fade the brown into a dark green, and then I'll go to a lighter green probably. Now, one cool thing you can do while working with green paint is after your green paint has dried, you can put a layer of yellow paint over it and it'll actually brighten it up and sometimes even give it like a glowing effect. Okay guys, before I start on resining all my clay pieces, I wanted to try something fun. I figured since we got this nice venomous looking mouth, we can add some drool to it. So what I'm going to do is actually take a little bit of extra resin and mix in some colors. I'm going to try and get it like a green slimy effect, and I figured I could add some like glitter glue to give it a little bit of a shine to it. So I'm going to mix that up, see how it looks, and we're going to try and put it on our face. One thing I will do, because resin is typically pretty drippy and runny when you first mix it up, I'm going to let it sit a bit after I add the colors so it can thicken. That way when I apply it to the face, it won't like drip right off. It'll kind of stick to it in nice clumps and kind of give a better effect of slobber. But yeah, I'm going to apply that and see how it works, and then after that hardens overnight, I will resin the rest of the pieces. Okay, while we're waiting for our resin to dry, I'm going to start working on the sewing for the body. Here's the pattern that I'm using for this dragon. I have everything all cut out. You can see I have the belly kind of a gray color, and then the body's the brown that I was talking about. My goal for this dragon is to give it a cute pot belly, so I've got it a little rounder in the middle. Now I wanted to give this dragon some fins and gills, so I'm going to cut that out of felt, and then I can start on the sewing. Now that I have my fins all finished, I'm going to start on the sewing. I'm going to start with the back of the dragon, sewing the fin between the two layers of fur. Then I'm just going to sew the two sides of the legs together. Okay, one thing I decided I wanted to add to this dragon was a small set of wings, so I'm going to do that really quick. I drew and cut out a simple wing shape for this. Then I just need to glue the wings to a wire frame and start adding some felt and some fur to it to add detail. Next I'm going to draw some markings where I'm going to cut some small holes into the body of the dragon. These are going to be used so I can push the wings through and then glue the wings into place. Okay, now we can start adding our clay pieces to the body of the dragon. I'm going to glue the clay pieces on and then start sewing the body closed, stuffing it as I go. Then the last thing I need to do is add the gills that I made to go around the face and add a pair of ears for our creepy critter. Guys, and that's basically how I made our creepy little friend over here. I had a lot of fun. He's a little different than what I'm used to. I hope you guys like him. I know he's not super cute or anything, but I like doing different things every now and again, and there's nothing wrong with trying something new, because sometimes you never know if you enjoy making something really scary or really cute. So I mean, always try different types of styles when you're working with things. But yeah, if you guys didn't see really well in the photos, his wings are posable, like I said. They're really tiny and cute. I kind of wanted him to look kind of like a gargoyle or something. So yeah, he's got cute little tiny baby wings and a really demonic, I want to eat your face kind of smile. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If so, make sure you leave me a like. Subscribe if you haven't done that already so you don't miss my next videos. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!